Has anyone else ever dealt with something like this? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind. It started about a week ago. I live in a house with 4 other people: Jess, Dane, Miguel, and Lily. Lily is the one I'm talking about. Lily is the one who I am 99% sure is dead. The thing is, my roommates all say she's just pretending, and at first I believe them. It's an old trick of hers. Lily is super introverted. When she gets overwhelmed or just doesn't want to deal with people, she acts like she's asleep. We call it playing possum. But she has been playing possum for 7 days straight. She hasn't moved. Her eyes are wide open. Her face started out pale gray, but now it's turning a dark, bruised purple. She is bloating. Yesterday, I watched a housefly land right on her eyeball. She didn't blink. I think it laid eggs there. And she hasn't changed out of her panda onesie since last Monday. God, the smell. She smells like rotting meat, like something you left in a hot car for a week. And that panda suit, it's disgusting. I'm convinced she died in it last Monday and everyone else is just in some deep psychotic denial. But how does that make sense? How are 3 other people looking at a corpse and telling me she's fine? I keep waiting for a hidden camera crew to jump out and tell me I've been pranked. Instead, I'm just sitting here on the sofa, staring across the room at Lily. She's propped up in the armchair, the same chair she died in. Her skin looks like it's about to melt right into the fabric. Let me back up. I think I know why this is happening. It started last Sunday. We were all coming back from a party. We'd had a few drinks, but I was sober enough to drive. Dane was in the passenger seat. Jess, Miguel, and Lily were in the back. We were on a back road when a cat, solid black, just shot out from the bushes. Thump. My stomach dropped. I slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. Then this old woman came running out of her house. She saw the cat in the road and she just screamed. It wasn't a normal scream. It sounded like metal grinding on glass. Lily rolled down the window and yelled that the lady should have kept her cat inside. That was a mistake. The old woman looked right at Lily. She started chanting these words in a language I've never heard before. It made the air feel heavy. We got spooked, called her crazy, and drove off. I think she was a witch. I think she hexed Lily. Because the very next morning, Monday, I came out for breakfast and Lily was in the chair, panda onesie, staring at nothing. I said good morning. She didn't answer. I asked if she was okay. Nothing. Miguel was on the couch playing a video game. He didn't even look up. He just said, "Chill, dude, she's sick. She stayed home from class. Leave her alone." I thought it was weird, but Miguel was acting so normal, so I let it go. But at dinner, she was still there. Same pose. Tuesday, same pose. Wednesday, same pose. Every time I tried to bring it up, my roommates looked at me like I was the crazy one. I pointed out that she hadn't changed her clothes in 3 days. Jess yelled at me. She said, "Stop being a creep, you're weirding her out." They even put a big cushion in front of Lily so she wouldn't have to look at me. Which didn't matter, because she was dead. I thought once the smell started, they would have to admit it. But they just pretended harder. It got weird. They started moving her, like staging the body. I'd wake up and find her slumped over the kitchen table, sightless eyes staring at the ceiling light. And everyone just ate their cereal around her, chatting like she was part of the conversation. By Thursday, the smell was unbearable. I saw Miguel breathing through his mouth to avoid gagging. I cornered Miguel. I said, "Dude, you smell that, right?" He wrinkled his nose and said, "Yeah, I know, hygiene isn't her priority right now. She's depressed. Jess says she's upset about the cat. Just let her work through it." I almost screamed. I said, "Miguel, she is rotting inside that panda suit." He just chuckled. "Don't be an asshole." So I did what I should have done on day one. I called the police. I told them I wanted a wellness check. My roommates tried to block the door, but I let the cops in. I pointed right at the corpse in the armchair. By now, the fluids were starting to leak through the fabric. It was a crime scene. I was ready to be arrested. I was ready for them to take us all away. The officer walked up to Lily. He looked at her. He leaned in close. Then he turned to me and said, "Sir, she appears to be fine. She's just not answering you." My blood ran cold. The hex. It wasn't just my roommates. It was everyone. The spell was making everyone see a living girl instead of a corpse. The cops left. Jess told me I was a terrible friend. Lily never moved. A few more days passed. The house reeked of death. We were living in a tomb. Finally, I snapped. I got into a screaming match with Jess and Miguel. I told them the witch had blinded them. I told them we were inhaling hazardous fumes from a decomposing body. They looked shaken. For a second, I saw fear in their eyes. Miguel whispered something about the smell, but Jess glared at him and he shut up. I realized nobody was going to fix this but me. Last night, while everyone was asleep, I took action. I bundled her up. She was heavy. Dead weight. Literally. I dragged her out to my car and drove to the bluffs outside of town. There's a spot with a steep drop-off into jagged rocks. I tossed her over the edge. I heard her hit the bottom. The animals will take care of the rest. If she isn't too rotten for them to eat. I went home, bleached the floor where the chair had been, put the ruined chair out on the curb, and finally, got some sleep. This morning, Jess had a panic attack. She was screaming, asking where Lily went. I told her Lily left. Jess called me a liar and drove off to look for her. Miguel, however, he looked relieved. He told me he could finally breathe again. He admitted it smelled bad. He said, "I hope Lily gets the help she needs, maybe a hospital." I didn't have the heart to tell him it was a little too late for a hospital. So, the body is gone. That should be a good thing. But I think the hex is spreading. Dane is usually a late sleeper, but it's 3 p.m. now. I just walked into the living room. Dane is sitting on the sofa next to Miguel. Miguel is playing a game, yelling to Dane to watch his six and shoot the bad guys. But Dane isn't playing. He's holding the controller, but his hands aren't moving. His chest isn't moving. Miguel keeps talking to him, pretending he's playing, but I know what I'm looking at. I think the hex got Dane. I think he's dead just like Lily was last Monday, and just like before, nobody can see it but me. I don't think I can handle the smell again. I don't think I can wait a week for them to realize he's rotting. If I wait, Jess will come home and pretend he's fine. The police will come and say he's just resting. Why am I the only one the hex didn't hit? Why am I the only one who can see the dead? I'm looking at Dane right now. He hasn't blinked in 10 minutes. I still have the keys in my pocket. It's a long drive back to the bluffs. but I guess I have to do it. I just have to wait until dark.